Alright, our next live reaction video. Logic is whiteness. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. And it says check the description. And in the description it just says BitChute version, which means he didn't really get to say everything he wanted to say in this video. I'm guessing. Or maybe he's thinking this video is going to be blocked or banned or something at some point, so let me just do this. Boston equals Titletown? Like, you ever see teams that go like centuries in between titles and shit? That's weird, right? And the Patriots where they got lucky and shit, and they magically drafted Tom Brady like the last round. Oh yeah. Then Tom wins over somewhere else. Like in his first year, he won. Oh, they have a beast roster. Let's be real. That's like a all-pro fucking roster. But still, is it Spygate? You got Spygate, Deflategate. How many gates do they got over there? Like the freak. Yeah. Anyways, now that I've correctly shitted on Boston and their sports. Yeah. Like Bill Russell winning like 11 rings, but there was like 3 teams in the entire league at that point. Like in 1920s and shit. They just played their friends over and over again and gave them a trophy at the end. Congratulations. Sorry, gotta roast Boston sports. Gotta roast them. They're close. They're close to the Mets. They're close. I don't even mean just base. I mean, all Boston franchises are all like that close to the fucking Mets. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Yeah. Alright, so this video is from The Radio. Logic is whiteness. Here we go. Oh, okay. So the original version of this video was blocked by YouTube. BitChute version linked in the description. Well, if that's blocked by YouTube, that means I can't react to it on YouTube. So let's just play this version.
Now, everything you see here in this flyer has been identified as an aspect of white culture and whiteness. And these things are usually spoken of in the derogatory. Some of them are things that I think, honestly, actually I would say most of this really comes down to what they're identifying as whiteness.
White culture in the United States.
General American values. And I think, listening to these people talk about this, that's really what their problem is, which is also why,
do we have another culture warrior on our hands?
Can be afflicted with this affliction of whiteness. But in this
Your team suck? Yeah, they do.
Video, what I'm really trying
Your
to
teams
nail
do
down
suck.
and focus, because it's very important that people think about this, is this part here in the center that identifies emphasis on the scientific method, objective, critical, linear thinking.
It's up in the bushes.
As an aspect of whiteness. This is really important because
is that the Nick Brana Homer Simpson picture?
From following, basically objective, critical, linear thinking, and encouraging them instead to value the anecdotal
I gotta set up that fucking
experiences
stream
of people of color
that the comments are on the
question,
screen so people can see
as long as they're people of color, of course, who have not been demonically possessed by whiteness, and follow the authorities of the critical race theory to the letter. Embrace your sin.
Critical race theory, no, the most important issue of our time. Fuck genocide, critical race theory. So Tim, why are you voting for Trump? Critical race theory.
Please. Good Hobbit looking figure.
Critical race theory? He's very boorish. To take on the establishment. And to, and to win, debates.
Alright, let's keep playing this. So, yeah. This guy's, I guess he's going the culture warrior route from the past couple of videos I've seen from him. Interesting, but let's hear it.
You know, self-flagellate yourself in front of everybody to atone. You know, those are all the things that they demand of you. But getting back to the main point, what kind of person benefits by demonizing and essentially rendering as blasphemy rational linear thinking and the scientific method? People who don't have your best interest in mind.
Now, I have no grievances with critiquing something like objectivity and what is this? Rational linear thinking. Those are both, like, in my opinion, it kind of made up make believe terms as far as how they're being applied. But also attaching it to white culture, what the fuck does that mean? That does not make sense at all. So, yeah. And also, rational linear thinking is poor way of thinking. Very poor. It's all borrowed. Everything's borrowed. There's no self there. Borrowed terms for borrowed observations, to where maybe even your observation of things starts shifting because of a concept or an ideology you have in your mind already. Some sort of materialist style thing. Anyways, here we go.
And the church, during the course of the Inquisitions and the witch hunts, was really just trying to retain power. And they resented scientists. And the reason why was because
that makes materialism the thing to go with, because the church was bad. How many times do we keep seeing this? I'm not saying he's saying that, but like I hear that a lot, bro. And it's like how long are humans gonna keep doing that? That to where they make something out to be good because the other thing's bad. It's so silly. It's like, I would say intellectually immature and lazy. But anyways, here we go.
Church, during the course of the Inquisitions and the witch hunts, was really just trying to retain power.
All right, Az.
And
get some
they
food.
Resented scientists. And the reason why was because science was encroaching on their power. Science. Now, before we begin, I'm going to give you just a little bit of a brief background on what exactly was taking place. They at Evergreen College had a like an annual tradition of what they call a day of absence, where the people of color would not show up to kind of demonstrate to people on campus, you know, what their contribution is. And it was usually a time to reflect on, you know, the contributions of people of color, among other things. And so basically the controversy started when they suggested, well, this year we want white people not to come to campus. And while they didn't make it necessarily a requirement, although over the course of the Boyce documentary you will see that some of the faculty have said that they were going to make it a requirement of their white students.
See, like, the concept's so dumb and silly. I mean, like, obviously other people have already taken it. I'm not going to call him a grifter because I don't know him yet. But other people took advantage of that notion and use it to gain a following, and then all of a sudden, now they're talking about neocon talking points. All of a sudden. Right? So it's like, this is such an easy concept. It's easy to look at and be like, that's wrong. That's incorrect. Like, you're going to ban white students? For what reason? Oh, a dumb reason? Yeah, you're dumb. And then the grifters, once again, not calling him a grifter. I don't know this guy. But the grifters will come in and say, look what they're doing. Follow me to freedom. Right, and they'll talk about this for, you know, maybe a year, maybe two. And they'll start talking about a little bit more about what they might favor. And then it's like they'll test the waters, see what, you know, see what works, see what doesn't. See like what turns people off as far as an idea, or see what like people like, oh yeah, I like that. And you'll, you know, start mealy mouthing around, and before you know it, you're a goddamn thought leader. Without any thoughts actually entering on the table. All borrowed concepts. No individuality or originality. Only thing original is the character you see in front of you. Maybe how they talk. Maybe what they're wearing. Maybe the style of their show, the camera, the cinematography. Maybe the quality of the show, the microphones. How HD is it? But they're not giving you anything. Giving you empty rhetoric. Talking about how bad it is to ban white kids from college. That's easy shit to talk about. Very easy. Anyways, here we go.
You know, they did, however, kind of indicate through pressure that if you didn't participate in this, then this would label you as a non-ally white person. I'm putting this up here so that if you want to take the time to read the email, it's available to you. You can pause it. I'm not going to read all of it. But they are going to go over this a little bit in their conversation that's going to lead to my point. So, but that's the point of it, is that, you know, after refusing to participate in this day of absence, a mob showed up at his classroom and confronted him, and the witch hunt began. This conversation we're looking at here is only a small piece of what went on in the witch hunt. But this is the best example that I can find of what happens.
Jared Taylor Gateway.
You know, when they just
Gateway
finally
content.
go ahead and spit out, oh yeah, we don't like critical and rational
They're trying to
thinking.
take out white people.
That's whiteness.
You need to make an apologetic
Sorry for the audio.
for emails that you sent and how they've affected students on campus. Because regardless of what you think the truth in those emails were, those emails had a very direct effect on people, and you need to own that.
Listen, I believe I've heard what you have to say. I don't believe you've heard me.
I just need to come in and comment.
Okay? Those emails do not say what you think they say.
Then why is there this pervasive feeling on campus that they do?
Well, you have studied your history, and you know that there are processes that take people over, right? There are things that happen at a witch burning, there are things that happen at a lynching, there are things that happen...
Do you think this is a witch hunt against you?
Well, I think this is a witch hunt, and I think I am the designated witch for the night, yes. Okay?
Yeah, he's made himself a target because he spoke out against something that nobody's really willing to talk about.
And I would, thank you, I would point out that a key feature of this dynamic is that there can be no visible diversity of opinion, which means that anybody who expresses another opinion, whether it be right or wrong, has to be stigmatized sufficiently powerfully that everybody else knows to shut up.
No, I don't think that there's not that silencing aspect.
Can I ask you a question? What? Put yourself in my shoes first. Imagine sitting in that room, listening to people chanting.
Dude, you laughed the whole time.
I did. I laughed?
You didn't give a shit about anything.
How do you
never
know?
laughed at all.
You don't know me.
I fucking saw you.
Okay.
You're right
You don't know
beside
me.
Dude.
Okay, you think you know what
Oh,
you
dude,
saw.
you're gonna use your rational bullshit. Fuck
What's up,
you.
PR Gaming? Is that Parappa?
You're gonna use your rational bullshit. Fuck you, dude.
Like full color shouldn't be asking white people to leave campus for day about.
What I said was that there's a
I
fundamental.
wasn't talking to her,
Yeah.
so I don't.
And I'm trying to answer you in good faith. What I said was that there is a fundamental difference between a population deciding to absent itself from campus and a population deciding to absent another population from campus. I still believe that that is true. That is not anti-black, it is not anti-POC, it is pro-equity. I stand for equity. Nobody understands that because they've read those emails through a particular lens. You are looking for
I
evidence
don't
of
think you
racism.
understand what equity is in the context that you're using it. It sounds like you're talking about equality.
Why did you not just shut the fuck up?
Okay? Let me give you the answer to that. The answer to that is, I do not believe that we can get to rational answers if there's no diversity of opinion, and that what is happening is that a system to penalize those with different opinions has emerged so that it appears that we have consensus, which we don't.
Some of the witch hunters realize that people are being influenced by the dark arts of reason. Oh, and by the way, you don't need diverse ideas to be correct. you need diverse ideas to recognize that you're correct. Or for people to, I guess, others to realize that you're correct. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the entire scenario, but these kids, some of the students that were yelling at him or whatever, like, I don't know what they're looking for with that. Do they want him to just sit there and listen? Is it about... Are they probably, if I had to guess, probably mentally possessed by some sort of idea that's simple and easy to follow in a way. And anyone who doesn't follow the idea with them, they're ready to wreck their shit. Without actually wrecking them, but, you know. I got you, Ant. Just give me a season. Give me a second. Reason really is a dark art. Oh, yes, it is. There's some woo-woo concepts with this too, as well, as far as archetypes go, and maybe the time period you live in. Maybe certain archetypes are a lot more apparent or a lot more vocal. You also have you have your history, right? Where it's like this bottle capping, like all this shit building up, and then boom, it gets released. Now it's just everywhere like a fucking flood. There's that too. I mean, there's a bunch of things contributing to this. So yeah, I don't know. I'm in the position in my mind where I'm like, I feel like I could sit, you know, what's his name, Eric Weinstein. I could sit him down. I can sit down with one of these students, and then they'll both have nothing for me. I feel like I just sit there and argue with both of them. I'm like, oh, you're both incorrect. Anyways, let's keep playing this. Let's find out more.
How we're treated.
We were having a good conversation.
This is bullshit! Hey, you don't need to talk to your life.
Shit, you know. Let's go ahead. Come together.
It doesn't matter. Don't talk to him.
Miss that last part. I want to know how many people are there. Like, how many of these kids are actually doing this? I guess they're college students. How many kids are doing this?
Where the fuck are your voices in this? Because you, as white people, are perpetrating white supremacy. And so is this man. Where the fuck are all of you at? As our allies, as our helplessness, shut the fuck up. I am.
So it's like someone grab Matt Hunter and throw him in the room with them. It's like they can't handle that guy. And you see how easy it is to fucking with his arguments, right? See, what he actually argues is when he thinks he's talking about me and my ideas, he's really talking about these kids and their ideas. So it's like, oh, these are the people you should be debating with, Matt Hunter. Not us. Or, well, you know, you can debate with us too, but you'll look silly if you think these are our arguments. And it's like, they would struggle. In fact, they would struggle so much that they'd probably try to kick him out, maybe even physical violence. Because, you know, like a screaming, stammering fucking child. Like, I can't out-logic you, so I'm going to hit you. Or I'm going to yell at you and scream at you. And yell so loud that you just disappear from my psyche. Please, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. That's what I would expect. That's what I seem to be seeing. They better find, like, if you're struggling that much and you are that far into strictly feminine expressions. I don't mean female. I mean like almost all abstraction. No order, no, you know, no logic, like, you know, well-sound logic behind it. It's like, you guys are going to need like a thought leader who can actually do that for you. And just let these people talk for you. I guess that'd be BreadTube, right? Something like that. Hey, Tom from MySpace. Sorry, guys. Like, as far as if you want to be able to communicate with these type of guys instead of just banish them, then you're going to need somebody who can do it. Well, part of me thinks the reason why they look to just strictly banish is because no one can keep up and argue with these guys. It's like, hey, you can learn this. Not difficult. But the part you got to do before you do that, that's the difficult part. Alright. Here we go.
Not referring to you. I'm referring to all of these people that are my allies. Who the fuck are you?
I was just having a private conversation with this guy. Okay, I don't even know him.
Who are you?
Huh? I don't know the guy. I just want to get to know him. That's all. I've noticed that he's been targeted and whatnot, or he's been bad guy to people, and I'm like, hey, everybody sees that to him. I mean, I want to get to know the guy. He looks like a cool guy to hang out with.
This is what I'm asking. Dialogue. It's not so tough.
We're just having a private conversation.
What? 1491 describes the state of the New World prior to European conquest. My point is, he's telling me that I need to understand something about other populations.
No, that's not what I said. I said you need to stop demanding that everybody use logic and reason and white forms of knowledge to fucking prove yourself to the world.
I'd be like, yo, man, you're literally using your own logic and your own reason for even saying that in the first place. Like, clearly that's a faculty of you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to form words. You developed a logic for what, you know, behind words. Like, oh, this attaches to my expression. Then I have to put it into words so that other people can understand what the fuck I'm saying. Oh, it's like a form of logic. Then the content of what you're saying, there's some sort of reason behind it. Why you call it, whatever you call it, white language or something, logic and reason is whiteness, that's borderline dangerous, to even say. So you're going to, like, if he entered the room, he'd come to me and be like, yeah, you, Jordan? Because you're dark skinned, you have no logic and reason. If you did, that'd be whiteness. But you're black, so you don't have any logic or reason. I'm like, what? So it's like, yeah, there'd be nothing they could do with me. I'm sorry. Like, I'm black and Native American. Never been rich ever in my life. Yeah, there's nothing they can do with me. Not some college grad. Got nothing. They're like, oh, you're dead. They're dead if they try to enter this conversation. And I think it would just turn into yelling, screaming, panicking. You don't know what you're talking about! Click. Shit like that. Oh, wow. Congratulations. You just played yourself.
That's not what I said. I said you need to stop demanding that everybody use logic and reason and white forms of knowledge to fucking prove yourself to the world.
Alright. Well, that's fucking brilliant. Because if you look at it, what was that whole little thing in the 2015, 2016 era, right? Logic, facts over feeling, logic and reason, but it became to where it wasn't actually about logic and reason and facts. It was just about style of talking. It's like they're trying to defeat that style of talking as opposed to actually trying to say like a real answer. They're just the other side of the coin of something they don't like. My God.
Hey, look at these SJWs. I think they should eat hot shit, huh? They should eat hot shit. Excuse me?
They go home, they take shit, they put it in the freezer.
I eat my shit cold. Now what?
That's what I'm just hearing right now. It's embarrassing. Stop using logic and reason. Are you serious?
Whatever they say, we'll do the opposite. That's how you win.
My God. That is self-destructive if there's any. And they did it with the other team too. Fucking dipshits. CNN's like, fuck, we can get them to buy into anything. Just say something and they'll do the opposite. We love China. We really love China over here at CNN. We love them. We love China.
China's bad. China's bad. China's bad.
I know. It's so easy. And people wonder why. I thought just people want to start movements or whatever the fuck. I'm like, dude, like I could waltz my way in, become the head of your organization, and lead you right to the next Iraq war. Wherever place that would be. I can probably guide your hands right there to it. With no problem. People wonder how like cults get started and shit like that. This kind of plays off the last topic, right? About fandom and team playing. Holy shit. What was it? A mismatched, misshaped, misformed collective instead of a healthy, each individual is immune on their own collective. Holy shit. And there's nothing else to really say about that. And then what's his name? V-Voice? V-Sauce? V-Radio. V-Radio. I would just pay attention and to the, like, is he doing the anti-SJW thing? Is that a hyper focus of him? How many kids were there to where he's focusing on it like that? That's what I'm saying. Be wary of the culture warriors. It's hard not to be a grifter in that category. It's pretty difficult.